Assalamu alaikum, ahlan wa sahlan bikum. My name is Imtiaz. Welcome back to lesson 12. In this lesson we're going to go through and look at gender, which is al-jinsu. So as we went through the nouns in the previous lesson, a noun is a word that indicates a meaning that is not associated with time. Okay, and it's a word that refers to a person, thing, event, substance or quality, and it'll fall into one or two categories. The first one is al-ism al-aqil, which is a living object, and the second one is wa ghayr aqil, which is an object. Okay, but in either case the noun will either be masculine or feminine. Okay, so gender in Arabic, the term used for gender in Arabic is al-jinsu, which means sex, race or kind, and there are two genders in Arabic. So the first one is al-mudhakkar, which is masculine, and al-mudhakkar has no special form. Okay, so as you see the words written, that's how they are, they can't be changed. Okay, the next one is al-mu'annath, which is feminine, and al-mu'annath has several special forms, and you can use these forms to identify that the word is feminine. But the gender of a noun will affect other words in a sentence, such as verbs and adjectives. So adjectives follow the noun. So if the noun is masculine, the adjective will be masculine. If the noun is feminine, the adjective will be feminine, and so forth. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go through both of these in detail with a few examples. So first one is masculine, which is al-ism al-mudhakkir. So masculine nouns have no special forms, like I mentioned before. So as you see those words written, that's how they'll be. Okay, so the first one we're going to look at is masjidun. Okay, so again, what I'd like you to do is try and when the word appears, try and say this yourself before I say it. This will give you a chance to practice the pronunciation. Okay, so the next one is sarirun, which is a bed. Next one, baytun, which is a house. Talibun, which is a student. Then we have athathun, which is furniture. Qitarun, which is a train. Next one is dajajun or dajaj, chicken. So here you can see what I omitted the vowel that was there. So again, last vowel on a noun can be omitted if no words follow the noun. Okay, so if no words follow after it, then you don't have to say the last vowel, whatever the last vowel is. Okay, so here next one is khubz, which is bread, or if you did want to say it, it would be khubzun. Next one is samak, which is fish. Okay, so these were the masculine nouns. So now we're going to go through al-ism al-mu'annath, which is the feminine nouns. As I mentioned in the previous few slides, that feminine nouns have special forms, and because of that they will normally fall into one of the following categories. Okay, the first one is nouns that end with the feminine ending ta marbuta, which is the most common. Then we have feminine ending alif maqsura. Then we have feminine ending alif manduda, and then we have words that do not have feminine endings. Okay, but they have their own categories. So the first one will be where they're the names of women, actual names of women. Second one, where they actually refer to women. Okay, then we have words that are parts of the body that appear in pairs, and then we have names and towns of countries or cities, etc. And then we have other words, everyday words, like to link to nature, for instance. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go through each one of these and show you a few examples of each one. Okay, so the first one is feminine endings with ta marbuta. Okay, so ta marbuta is a special feminine ending and is used to identify feminine words. Okay, and like I said before, it is the most common way of identifying a feminine word. Okay, it is a cross between the letter ta and the letter ha, and is written with 2 dots above it, and is pronounced as an a but also as a ta, exactly like the letter ta, and I'll show you how that happens. So here we've got the letter ha, and then which comes after a naughty letter, and then we have this ha which comes when it's joined onto a letter. So what happens is you put the 2 dots on top on that one, and then 2 dots on this. Okay, and it is called ta marbuta, and it only occurs at the end of the word, mostly to indicate the feminine gender of nouns or adjectives. Okay, so that is ta marbuta. So if we look at an example, here we go, taliba, taliba. So even though it is the ta here, it sounds like an taliba. You're not pronouncing the ta yet. Okay, taliba. Here we have the same instance but after a naughty letter. So here is the independent version. So taliba, walida. Now this is the sound that we're talking about here, a, taliba and walida. So how do we, when does this sound like a ta? It sounds like a ta when you place a vowel on it and you pronounce the vowel. So here if we put tanween, here's, now it becomes talibata un, talibatun. Because now the ta is pronounced, and then you're ending the vowel ending, the case ending added to the end. Okay, same here, it'd be walidatun, walidatun. Okay, so but what we'll do is, as we go through the lessons, the next upcoming lessons, we'll see a lot more examples of these, and I'll show you a breakdown of how it works, especially when we do the singular, dual and plural, because then we actually take this ta marbuta and we break it down. Okay, so let's do a few examples, exercises, tadrib. So again, what I'd like you to do is try and pronounce the name before I say it, just to help you practice. Okay, so the first one is haqiba, which is a bag, haqiba. Next one is zahra, which is a flower. Next one is hadiqa, hadiqa, okay, which is a garden. Next one is fikra, which is an idea. Then we have sayyara, which is a car. Then we have Medina, which is a city. Yeah, so that's fikra, sayyara, Medina. Okay, next one is ustada, which is a professor, female. Waraqa, which is paper, and tabiba, which is a female doctor. Okay, ustada, waraqa, and tabiba. Okay, next one is salah, which is prayer. Then we have sa'a, which is a watch. And finally we have ghurfa, which is a room. Okay, salah, sa'a, ghurfa. Okay, next we have madrasa, which is a school. Then we have daraja, which is a bicycle. And then we have finally jamia, which is a university. Okay, so these were feminine word nouns that end with a ta marbuta. Okay, which is a first. Now there is an exception to this rule, that we have some masculine word nouns that also end with the ta marbuta. Okay, and there are only a few, but they are used in reference to males. For instance, here ulama, which is scholar, a great scholar, or khalifa. Okay, and there'll be others as well, but they're only a handful. And the way to identify these, whether these are masculine or feminine, is to look at the words that are on either side. Okay, if the adjective or the pronoun is feminine, then the noun is feminine, and if it's masculine, then it's feminine. Okay, and I'll go through this of an example of this at the end of the lesson. So that was the feminine ending ta marbuta. Next we have feminine ending alif maksura. Okay, And this is the second feminine ending. It's known as alif maksura, which is a short alif, and is strictly used at the end of the words, never at the beginning or middle. And it is a ya pronounced as an a. Okay, and it's commonly used for proper nouns such as names. So here, the first one, we've got Salma, which is the name of a person, Salma. Then we have Layla. Then we have Bushra. Then we have Muna. Okay, Salma, Layla, Bushra, Muna. We'll have others like Asma or and so forth. Okay, so this is alif maksura. So, and it's also then used with adjectives. Okay, so for instance, you got Kubra, this will be greater, but when referring to a female. Next one is Sughra, which is smaller, which is for a female again. Okay, so that was alif maksura. Next we have feminine ending alif mamduda. And this is the third feminine ending. Like I said, it's known as alif mamduda, and it ends with a hamza but preceded by an alif, a long alif. Okay, and when you pronounce it, it's like a glottal stop, so it's like you've got a hiccup, and used to referring to females. So here, which is so asma'u, asma'u. So you can see there's a slight gap, the hiccup, like the pause I have in the middle. Asma'u, it's the name, and then umya'u, which is a blind woman. Okay, next one is hasna'u, which is a beautiful woman. And then it's also used, like I said, other cases. For instance, in the colors, we have colors. For instance, the color blue would be azraq, which is for masculine, but when it refers to a feminine, it will be zarqa'u, which is feminine, zarqa'u, which is blue. Okay, so if we give you an example of this, so here we've got ismu sadiqati husna'u, which means my friend's name is Husna. Okay, next we have al-jawu nadifun fi sahra'i. Al-jawu nadifun fi sahra'i, which means that the air is clean in the desert. Al-jawu nadif is clean, fi in sahra'i. And again, like I said, we will cover these breakdowns when we get to the right lesson. Okay, so al-jawu nadifun fi sahra'i, which is that the air is clean in the desert. Okay, هذه حقيبة زرقاء, which means هذه. So this is what I was talking about, looking at the word. So here we have the noun, which is feminine, but then we have this word here, which is the color blue, and you can see it's used a feminine term. And here هذه is using feminine pronoun, demonstrated pronoun. So this bag is blue, so this is a blue bag. So here is feminine, here is feminine, so it means that the noun is feminine too. Okay, so that was alif mamduda. Okay, next we have the feminine nouns that have no endings, and they have their own categories. So one, there'll be names of women, actual names of women, and then we have words that refer to females. Then we have words that are refer to parts of the body, and then names of cities, towns, and countries. And finally, you've got everyday terms, like nature and stuff. So let's go through the first one, which is the names of women. What we'll do is a few names. So again, try and read these out yourself. So the first one is Ifat. Then we have Abir. Then we have Simal. Anika. Asma. Amreen. Margaret, Janice, Katie, Musarrat, Manal, Nesma, Alia, Nawal, and finally we have Nina. Okay, then we have, so these are the names of women, and then we have nouns that refer to females. Okay, here the words that refer to females are also considered feminine. So for instance, here, so we have got bint, which is a daughter or a girl. Okay, because it's referring to a female, then it is a feminine noun. Also we have the mother, which is here, that would be which is also feminine. So then we have a brother and a sister. So here the ukht, the sister, would be so the sister would be a feminine noun, ukht. Okay, so bint, and ukht. Okay, so that is the second type, which is nouns that refer to females. You could also have khala, which is maternal aunt, and so forth. Then the third type we have is parts of the body. So most parts of the body which occur in pairs are also feminine nouns. For instance, the hands. Here, yadun, which is the hand. Then we have eyes, which is aynun, which is eye. We have legs, okay, which is rijlun. Okay, we can also have feet, which is qadam. Okay, and so forth, ears, etc. All right, so that is the third part. Next we have the names of the cities and countries. So I've not done the cities, but I've done countries. Asma'ul mudun wal buldan. Okay, so that is the names of the cities, countries. So here for the first one we've got Misr, which is Egypt. Next we have Al-Yemen, which is Yemen. Next one is Al-Mumlaka Al-Arabiya Al-Saudiya, which is the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Next we have Al-Maghrib, which is Morocco. Then we have Italia, which is Italy. Then we have Pakistan, which is Pakistan. Then we have France, which is France. Hispania, which is Spain, and Turkey, which is Turkey. So France, Hispania, Turkey. Okay, so these are the names of the countries. I've not done names of cities, but they would also be considered feminine. All right, and finally we have nature and everyday words. So here words that are connected to nature, for instance earth, fire, wind, they would also be considered as feminine words. So here we've got Shamsun, which is sun. Then we have Ardun, which is earth. Narun, which is fire. Rihun, which is wind. And like I said, so there's all the others. For instance, soul would be nafsun. That would also be considered a feminine word. But what you'd have to do is, as we learn these words, vocabulary builds up, you will know which words are feminine and which ones are masculine. Okay, so we've done masculine and feminine. The next question, I guess, is, can we change the gender of a noun? So the gender of a noun can only be changed for nouns that refer to people and not objects. Okay, so if they're living things, then yes, we can change them in most cases, but if it's an object, then you can't. Okay, and that is done by adding or removing the special character ta marbuta, okay, to or from the end of a noun. So here we've got the first one, which is tabib. So when we add the ta marbuta, it becomes tabiba, which is now referring to a feminine. So tabib, which is doctor, male doctor, then becomes tabiba, which is a female doctor. Okay, let's look at some examples. So here, which we did, tabib becomes tabiba. Okay, next one is talib, and if we can we change it over to feminine? Yes, we can. We add taliba because it is a living thing. Oh, next one we have sadiqa. So here we have a feminine. Now can we change this back to a masculine? So here, yes we can, because it is again a living person or living thing. So here it will become sadiq. So we just take the ta marbuta off and we change the last the vowel to whatever the final version is هيك صديق, so becomes friend. All right, next one is مهندس. Here engineer male, again yes we can change, it will be مهندسة, it will becomes female engineer. Next one we have قلم, which is a pen. Now can we change this over to feminine? No, because it is an object. So like I said earlier on, if for objects their gender remains whatever it is. So if they're feminine they'll be feminine, if they're masculine they'll remain masculine. Okay, next one, here we've got حقيبة, which is a bag. Can we change it over? No, because it is an object. Next one is كتاب, which is a book. Again we can't change it over because it is an object. غرفة, which is a room, can't change it back to masculine because it is an object. Next one, شارع, which is a street, we can't change it over because it is an object. مكتب, which is an office, so we can't have a female office. I mean the word can't change, so it'll be, we can't change it over, so مكتب. Finally we have مدرسة, which is a female teacher. Can we change this over? Yes we can, because it refers to a person. مدرسة, مدرس, here it is a teacher. Okay, so what we're going to do now is go through and have a little exercise. What I would like you to do is I'm going to give you the masculine nouns and I would like you to change these to a feminine noun. So here the first one is معلم, معلم, which is a teacher. موظف, which is an employee. كاتب, which is a writer. زميل, which is a colleague. مترجم, which is a translator. And عامل, which is a worker. Then we have مدير, which is a manager. And finally محامي, which is a lawyer. Okay, so what I'd like you to do is pause the video and go through and see if you can change these to the feminine nouns. Okay, and then once you've done it, then you can check your answers with the ones I have written down. Okay, so the first one was معلم, will become معلمة, which is a teacher. Next one was a مؤذف, here مؤذفة, employee. And كاتب, كاتبة. Next one was زميل, which becomes زميلة, which is a colleague. Then we have مترجم, which becomes مترجمة, which is a translator. Then we have عامل, which was and then became عاملة, which is a worker. Then مدير becomes مديرة, which is a manager. And finally we have محامي, which became محامية, which is your lawyer. Okay, معلمة, معذفة, ذفة, مؤذفة, كاتبة, زميلة, مترجمة, عاملة, مديرة, محامية. Okay, masculine or feminine. So this is where you when you see a noun, how do you know if the noun is a masculine or a feminine? Okay, and what you do is you check what the pronoun or adjective is used with the noun. This will help you identify the noun. So here we've got هو طالب. Now هو is a pronoun and we haven't covered these yet, but in the upcoming lessons we'll cover these pronouns. And the هو is used to refer to he. So he is, because the pronoun refers to he, that means the noun is a masculine. So هو, he is a student. And then in the same way we've got هي طالبة. So here the هي refers to is a pronoun that refers to she. So she is a student. هي طالبة. Okay, so when it comes to describing nouns, the one thing to note is the adjectives follow the nouns in gender and also in number. Okay, so here we got كتاب ثقيل. So here the word kitab is a masculine noun, and then the adjective that is used is also then masculine. So a heavy book. Okay, when we go over to feminine noun haqiba, which is a bag. Haqibatun ends with a ta marbuta, so we know that is a feminine noun. So when we use the adjective, we don't have to make sure that the adjective matches the noun. So here the ta marbuta is also then added to the adjective. So haqibatun thaqilatun, which is a heavy bag. Okay, so that is the nouns, the masculine and feminine nouns. I said the adjectives follow nouns in gender and number. What I'm going to do in the next lesson is go through and show you the how the nouns change when they are singular, dual and plural. So inshallah, see you then. Again, if you like the video, please like, share and subscribe to our channel. If you found this useful, then please forward this to other people. Jazakallah khair. Inshallah, see you in the next lesson. Fi amanillah. Assalamu alaikum.